What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios, back at it with another debate episode. Today's debate episode, we're going to be talking about Godzilla 2021 versus Shin Biollante. Now, here's the plan, folks. We're going to go over the characteristics, and we're basically going to analyze these two giant creatures, and once we're done with that process, we're going to put them up against each other in a death battle. So, without further ado, let's begin with the backstory and analyzation of Godzilla 2021. So, Godzilla is an ancient alpha predator who was awoken by the nuclear bomb. It protects Earth as the ultimate force of nature. Which is interesting, and I've said this before, but I will say it again just to kind of clarify. The general backstory of this Godzilla is quite interesting because it's different from, say, the Japanese Godzillas from Toho, because Godzilla is usually an abomination, a mistake, not really awoken by the, atomic bomb, but made by the atomic bomb. This one is awoken. He's a force of nature. He's more of a good thing than an abomination or a curse, right? So, definitely interesting. Now, moving on, we have abilities. I'm going to do a quick skim. We're going to finish off Godzilla, and then once we're about to move on, we'll come back to the abilities and do a deep analysis, so do not worry. But for now, just a quick skim. Atomic breath, combat, agility, and the burning ability. Alright, Territorial is none, aggression is maximum, biome is earth, height is approximately 120 meters tall. Which comes from the latest film, Godzilla vs. Kong. He was 120, so we're going to take the latest height of Godzilla. Okay, let's go back to the abilities. Now, atomic breath. This is, this is the most known to be and the basically signature move of Godzilla. It is a radioactive pulse of fire that shoots out as a blue beam, and it just blasts everything into flames and just destroys everything basically. And depending on what kind of opponent you are and how big the monster is, it can even kill some opponents. That's how powerful it is with a single blast. It is called the atomic breath, and the color, as I said, is blue. Now moving on, we have combat. Now, although I put combat and agility, separately, I will just talk about them, together because they go hand in hand. But when it comes to combat and just in general agility, by far, this is the only Godzilla who I've ever seen to be as agile and as well versed in combat as legendary Godzilla is. He is top notch. Top notch indeed. He can kick, he can punch, he can bite, he can headbutt. And when it comes to the tail whip, it is absolutely deadly. He actually killed one of the Mutos in the original Godzilla 2014 film by a tail whip. His tail whip is absolutely powerful. It could kill, it could break bones, it could break necks. And as I said, agility, he is fast, he is quick, he doesn't get tired easily, and he is the only Godzilla to ever survive a blast from the oxygen destroyer. So that's a big pro right there to talk about too. It's a big flex for this Godzilla, right? And then finally, we have the burning ability. And this one is very interesting because it's a combination of two abilities, or I should say two catalysts are needed. And one of them being Mothra's complete energy, so she has to die, give her full essence to Godzilla. And extra nuclear energy. Basically more nuclear energy than Godzilla's body possesses, maybe like an atomic bomb. Both of those two combined together get him into a burning state where he just is exploding in very, very high temperatures and melts and explodes everything in its path, and his atomic breath becomes red and it just melts everything in its path. And he does not get any damage from this, but he becomes very, very deadly. Alright, that is going to sum up Godzilla for us, folks. Let's move on to our next culprit, Shin Biollante. Alright, folks, so Shin Biollante came into existence when the coagulant that was sprayed into Shin Godzilla's mouth right before he froze, one of the small humanoids was able to fall off the tail before all of them froze. From a long fall, the humanoid was bleeding and looked for a place to rest and happened to come across a field of roses and thought that they could be food. Interesting. The humanoid started eating all of the roses, and his DNA mixed with all of the roses he had devoured, including the blood he spilled on the ones he didn't eat. The roses came alive and decapitated the humanoid. and formed Shin Biollante. So this is the backstory that I personally came up with. If if Shin Biollante were to exist, this is how I see it happening. And this is a very gruesome backstory. Decapitated the humanoid and a new creature evolving, right? Now, Shin Biollante, this is his backstory. Height is incredible. The height of Shin Biollante is approximately 252 meters tall. Incredibly huge, right? Abilities, again, same procedure. Quick skim, spiked atomic laser, 10,000 tentacles, tentacle poison laser, regeneration, instant adaptation, false heart trap. Next we have territorial level is high, aggression is low, biome is unlimited. I will explain that in the abilities when we go deep into it, and that's what we're going to do right now as we speak. So let's go into it. Spiked atomic laser. Now this is interesting because remember, this is a combination between Shin Godzilla and Biollante. So the atomic laser, obviously not atomic breath, atomic laser, because remember Shin Godzilla doesn't have an atomic breath, he has an atomic laser. And this atomic laser is obviously coming from Shin DNA. Mixing that with Biollante, she actually has thorns all over her body, right? And these thorns are just everywhere. And imagine like a plant thorn, right? Or like I'll be more specific, a rose thorn. Now multiply that by 10,000, let's say, inches in size. That's how big this creature is, and thousands of them in this atomic laser. So it's not only a laser, there's thorns inside of it. And this laser, just like Shin Godzilla, is located all over the body. So she can shoot this laser from all over the body, meaning this laser can be shot over 1,000 times in a mere second from different angles. And with that being said, it's very powerful. Not only is it thorns, it's a laser, and it just rips up the flesh and just it makes you all bloody. And it could basically destroy anything, from monsters to cities to people to you name it. You name it. Next, you have 10,000 tentacles. Yes, so a regular Biollante would have 4 tentacles. This one has 10,000 tentacles that obviously have their own mouth and their teeth, and they can bite and do all that good stuff. And not only, do they have their own teeth, or they 10,000, but they have their own ability, which is known as a tentacle poison laser, which basically numbs the opponent. And when they shoot that, it numbs the opponent, and that's really bad. You may think, oh, okay, big deal, right? But since the opponent is numb, it doesn't know when to retreat, when to defend. It thinks it could keep on attacking while Shin Biollante just attacking it. If you can't feel pain, you're not going to defend, and obviously you're going to die. And not knowing when to defend, it's a very powerful ability. Next, we have regeneration. Shin DNA allows her quick regeneration of the body, of the health, and this is also implemented into this creature because of the DNA. Next, we have instant adaptation. Shin Godzilla evolves. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. And this has fallen into Shin Biollante because of the DNA. And not only that, this is because this explains why the biome is actually unlimited. Because Shin DNA lets you evolve to fit the environment. So she can evolve unlimitedly to fit the environment. Therefore the biome is unlimited because of the evolutionary abilities. Very, very powerful. Finally, we have something called the false heart trap. Now, as you may know, Biollante has a big bulge in her stomach, which is open. It's an orange color, and it's her heart. Now, what's interesting is, in this version of Biollante, it's a more evolved version, obviously, and she is different. Instead of it being a heart, it's a trap, it's a mirror. Whatever ability you use, it's gonna mirror right back to you. And most opponents are gonna think it's the heart, and they're gonna attack it. Let's say, for example, an atomic breath is used there. The atomic breath will hit it, it'll mirror back and go right back to Godzilla, for example. That is the false heart trap. Or I like to call it the mirror blast. Very, very, indeed, hypnotizing and powerful. Alright folks, that is going to sum up both of these two giant kaijus. Now, let's put them up against each other in a death battle. Close range and far range, alright? And this is the way we're going to level this out. The reason why we do far range is some of the abilities are going to be limited out. We're trying to see, can they survive if some of their abilities are indeed limited out? How will they function? Can they win, right? Great way of testing them out. And then close range is just all-out war. Now, we'll do far range first, and here are the rules. Both kaijus must be, and I repeat, they must be 700 meters apart. That means there is absolutely no physical contact. So, let's see what ability Shin Biollante can or cannot use in terms of far range. Remember, 700 meters apart, no physical contact. Spiked atomic laser, yes, that's fine. 10,000 tentacles, as long as it's defensive, that's fine. Tentacle poison laser, no, it will not travel that far, so that's no. Regeneration doesn't matter, as an adaptation doesn't matter, and the false heart trap will not work from 700 meters apart. So the only thing she can basically use is a spiked atomic laser and the 10,000 tentacles. And then obviously tentacles are just for defending herself, right, covering her up and all that stuff. But offensively, no, because she needs to hit the opponent with the tentacles. They're not 700 meters long. All right. Now let's go to Godzilla. Atomic breath, of course, it's meant to go far distance. Combat, no, he cannot use combat because that requires physical touch. Agility, of course, doesn't matter. Burning ability, yes. Ooh, this is a good battle. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, far range. Personally, because of the nature of Godzilla being a force of nature, defender of Earth, Shin Biollante is more of an intruder. Godzilla is going to be the first one to attack, and obviously it's going to be atomic breath. Now, with the atomic breath, it's gonna do damage to Shin Biollante. However, not only is it going to piss her off, it's also going to initiate the regeneration. So even though she's getting damaged, she can regenerate. Although there is a level, obviously, I mean, if she gets damaged to a point that her body can't recover herself, then she's not going to be able to regenerate. But the atomic breath is going to do a lot of damage, and especially on the tentacles. Maybe I'm going to say in one atomic blast, probably 30 to 40, tentacles are just going to be swoon off easily, no problem. Now, with that being said, Shin Biollante obviously has a tactic, and she is going to attack Godzilla via the spiked atomic laser, and this is where things get interesting. The spiked atomic laser is all over the body, so if we were to assume there'll probably be over 40,000 areas where this laser can come out. All of them once together is around 40,000 lasers with giant thorns from a giant rose inside of it. Now, putting the two and two together, I don't think Godzilla stands a chance in far distance. So, I mean, we can argue that he can go with the burning ability, which is going to do a lot of damage. But this is not King Ghidorah. This creature evolves and adapts, because as soon as the burning ability hits, she can evolve her body to fit the temperatures. Because we saw Shin, how quickly he evolves. It's mere seconds in Shin DNA. And the spike atomic laser is going to mutilate Godzilla's body. That's just as rational as I can be. Therefore, I'm going to say 1-0 in terms of far range for Shin Biollante. Let's go to close range now. Face to face, let's take this into consideration now. Shin Biollante stands of 252 meters tall. Godzilla is 120 meters tall. But right there is a huge difference, right? That's incredible difference. Face to face, when these two creatures, run at each other, although Godzilla is very strong, Shin Biollante, she is just way too big, way too muscular, way too powerful, way too bulky, and too many damn tentacles. 10,000 tentacles, because the first thing that's gonna hit Godzilla is the tentacles, and then she's gonna just throw her body on him, and he's gonna get smashed, very badly, right? It's gonna get smashed, and with all that weight on top, with 10,000 tentacles just numbing and biting, not only numbing, biting and pulling body parts off of Godzilla, and just numbing him, is gonna do a lot of damage. And yes, he can use the atomic breath. He can use the burning ability. However, as I said, this creature evolves. And with that being said, the spiked atomic laser from that close, being right next to each other, is just going to basically have his head on the east corner of the city and his leg on the west corner of the city. And therefore, Shin Biollante will win far range as well, making it 2-0. This is, again, just my opinion. You could debate me. I'm actually open to being debated with. I encourage you guys to debate me in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great and wonderful day. But before I do end the video, just a quick recap: Shin Biollante wins 2-0. Thank you, have a great day.